So we were doing yesterday on the Terraform, right? Little bit. Yeah. So we covered this module. So I'm going to talk on one big module that we are going to set up, like one VPC and internet gateway and everything. So I'm opening up the modules here. So this is the project, right? So we already have the project here. So what I'm going to do, rather than I'm copying this, I'm going to create it. Okay. So first we are creating a VPC. That's fine. So let me open up this one. So inside the module, I have a VPC module already created yesterday. I'm going to create now new module. It can be yeah. Let's say it's also a project. Okay. I don't know why machine has gone slow. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Is it lagging something?
No,
No, right?
it's good.
Okay. So this is the project because my machine has gone slow. It's taking good amount of time to take operations. See, I create main.tf. Come on. It's not working. So we have this main.tf file. So let me also create the variables.tf and also output.tf. Output is not required, but still I'm adding it here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and add our main.tf. So let me close all this. We don't need all of these. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to copy this one because we already know this. We don't need to very much. I'm going to remove this syntax. I'm just giving this name. So VPC CRDR block on the tags, I'm giving it on the variable. I'm using it here as a app name. It's a different name now. Yeah. So remember, this is a good example. So now I know the variable called var.appName, right? And then hyphen VPC. So when you wanted to use this combination like a variable and a normal string, in that scenario, it is recommended that you use this one. This will make sure that you are using variable till here, and after that it is a plain string. So in this case, you are going to use the variable syntax like this. Okay. So now we have created the VPC, and then I'm going to create the internet gateway here. So maybe I'll open up this one. Terraform AWS internet gateway. So I got the resource here. So this is the resource. I'm going to copy this, right? It says resource gateway. I am also making it as a main. So it needs VPC ID as an argument. So we are creating the VPC ID. So in case if you're trying to create this resource, which is already exist for a VPC, So you are trying to create internet gateway for a VPC that is already created. In that case, we are going to use the data. Okay. But here we are creating it here. That's why I'm mentioning directly AWS VPC main.id. So this VPC ID will be considered here. Okay. They say tags name is equal to main, but I'm going to use my variable. Okay. This will be var dot app name underscore IGW. Right. This is done. Internet gateway is over. If you want, we can also pass some more arguments as well. ID, ARN. Yeah, it doesn't have much. It just have only VPC in the tags, which is good. Now we need to create the subnets, right? So I'm creating two subnets here. I'll also open up here. Terraform AWS subnet. I don't know why machine is slow. So this is what I needed. I'm going to copy this one. I'll paste this here. So resource AWS subnet main. Again, it needs a VPC. I'm taking VPC from here. CIDR block. So here, these guys are hard coded, but I'm not going to hard code this. Rather, I'm going to use a variable. So I'm going to subnet CIDR block. Okay. Again, they say the variable. I'm going to take this tag as it is. So rather than IGW, I'm going to use subnet, right? So this will be public. So public SN. I'm going to change this as a public SN. We can use main here, but I'm going to create one more resource, right? For a private as well. So this main becomes duplicate. So I need to give a different name to that. Since I'm using two, I give a proper naming here. So I would say public SN, and I would give this name as a private SN. Okay. So here SNCIDR block, I'm going to take one more variable called, this is private. This is going to be public. SN public CIDR block, SN private CIDR block. Tags, this will be a private, right? See? So now we have got two subnets created. And then after that, this talks about the route table. Let's see why I have commented that. And then I'm going to use a default route table. Okay. So we need a route table, right? That is a default one. Let me take it here. Terraform AWS default route table. I have it here. Yeah, this is that. Let's copy as it is first. So route table ID. So they are actually talking about an ID. So what they want, default route table ID, VPC, it is referring something. Okay, so if you want to use a default route table, we need to have a default route table underscore ID. This is taking from AWS VPC, you see. So whenever you create a VPC, a default route table will be created. Okay, so here we are referring this AWS VPC, which is here, and then foo, he's using as a name of foo, but our name is main, right? I'm going to make it a main default route table ID. So this default route table ID will be coming from this resource as an output, as a argument, right? Now we need to add the route. So before that, let me also edit this one, tags. So what do we use a tag? Var dot app name hyphen route table RT, right? Now we need to edit this route. So let's go back and see what we can mention here. So arguments references default route ID, which is required. Route is an optional. Virtual gateways. So now this section, let's go ahead. Route So route argument references. So it needs CADR block IPv6 address. So if you mention the route, then this is mandatory. CADR block is mandatory, which is okay. So remaining all are optional, like NAT gateways ID, everything is there. But we are going to use this CADR block. So probably it will be 0.0.0.0 something, you see, because we are going to talk to all the IPs. So if you want to restrict, you can also restrict that as well here. If you want a specific restriction to specific target range. So this is going to be what we need to mention, CADR block. Okay, CIDR block is equal to 0.0.0.0/0. Okay, so maybe I'll take this one as a variable as well. Okay, so var that route CIDR block. So I'll default it to 0.0.0. If someone else want to pass, they can also pass this. So route table also done. What is next? Let's check it. So he's updating the route table. Okay, so this is all the default route table he has added. So we are also taking gateway ID. Sorry, can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, because I got a call, so my connectivity went there. So in this section, he's also adding the internet gateway. So since we have created internet gateway, this is NAT gateway ID. This is gateway ID. So we are going to add the internet gateway as well. So in our resources, we created internet gateway here. I'm going to use this. So the attribute is gateway underscore ID is equal to this dot. So what name we have given? Main dot ID, right? Main dot ID. See now our application, our route table is associated with this gateway as well. So default one, which is perfect. Now let's go ahead and create the routes as. So updating the private route table. So this is creating a private route table. So we're not creating a public. Now I got it, because we don't need to create a one public route, because there will be a default route, right? So which we can consider as a default one to public, and the private route we are creating it here. Okay. Now I am going to add the private route here. I'll just copy it as it is. So private route, VPC main ID name, which is also perfectly fine. Private route. Okay. So now I need to associate. So now this private subnet that we are creating, so we need to associate this private subnet to this private route table, right? Otherwise it will not be routed properly. So now again, there is a route association resource available. So I'll just copy it directly here, because this is already there. I'm going to copy this. Sorry. So AWS route table association, I'm taking it as a private association. Subnet ID, because we need subnet ID. So subnet, which subnet we need to associate? Private one. So we have given name as this. So I'm going to change the name this. Okay, so we don't need to mention this block. It is, and then route table ID. So which route table ID we want to use? We want to associate to this route table. So it is matching. So I don't need to do anything. I'm going to remove this curly braces and quotation as well. Perfect. So this is what we got. So we created a VPC, and then we are creating internet gateway. And then when creating one subnet, which is public, this is private subnet. And then I'm associate updating my default route. So updating default route, the target is 0.0.0, and I'm attaching internet gateway. Okay. And then I'm creating a route table, one more route table for the private. So after that, I'm associating private subnet with this private route only. So if you want, we can also go ahead and create the NAT gateways as well. and then you update this, take one more road association, and here use a CADR block as 0.0, but rather than gateway ID here, so we can use the NAT gateway. So you see NAT gateway ID. So I can let you guys do that. Okay, so you can create the Terraform NAT gateway here. So you see NAT gateway. We just need to use this section, example section. That's it. So it's asking for the Elastic IP as well. So probably you need to create Elastic IP first and then use this one. Okay. Allocation ID is required. Subnet ID tag. That's it. So you are going to give here a public subnet because NAT gateway will be created into the public subnet, right? So you'll give the public subnet ID and then you need to create one Elastic IP first because you're using it here, but he hasn't created here. So you would be creating the AWS EIP from your resources and then use it. Okay. So now we have got it. Now let's go ahead and create our instance. Okay. So now I am going to create the instance. So let me copy this directly. Or maybe not, let's not create the instance. So this is our details. Okay. So now let's go ahead and use this. So now first we need to create our variables. So I would highly recommend that either you can remember all this variable or you copy all the file and then create the variables one by one. So maybe I will open this here in another window. I'll close this guy. So now I have this VPC variable, this thing, and then app name. This goes first. Variable app name. This is done, and then I have app name is done, and I use this one. This thing, and then this is the private one. This is done, and then I have route CADR block. I'm going to use a default one to this. So default is equal to 0.0.0.0/0 because it is a public internet. And then I have this. No, that's it. So whatever variables I have used are updated. So rather than I'm using empty here, so let me also put some defaults. So in case someone directly uses this, their VPC doesn't ask for any variable creation. So I'm going to give the defaults here to this as well. Default is equal to 10.0.0.0/26. I use our basic example one. And then to this also, default is equal to 10.0.0.0/28. Okay. And then to this, I'm going to use a default again 10.0.0.16, right? /28. So this will create 16 IPs, 2 subnets. That's it. So yeah,
Yeah, like that variable SN private, it needs to be CIDR, right?
which one?
The variable name, a private one.
Yeah, this one.
C, yeah, it is CIRD. Was it CIRD in our main file?
Oh, I misspell it?
Oh, it was CIRD. It will not impact.
CIDR.
Yeah,
Yeah.
CADR is the right one. So I have misspelled it. I can correct it. So CIDR block, CIDR here, not the CIRD. CIDR.
I was trying to confirm it if it
Yeah,
was the same.
yeah. No, I misspelled that. Thanks. Okay, I haven't used it anywhere. So CIDR, CIDR. Okay, yeah, CIDR. So this is perfect. So now we have got this ready. Now this is our module is created. So our module is ready. So this module can be shared with anyone. So even I can share this with you guys as well. So you can just create it. So to create this, so again you need to create your main.tf file. So again, so now we have these modules here. So you save it here. So you go to your routine directory. So I'll create a folder probably. So that is going to be I just give the same name, project main. Okay. So you come here, you add your main.tf file. Okay. And then it is always recommended that you use a prod.tf vars. So you can also give, or you can also rename this with the project name, per project name. Okay. So my project name is for HR. Okay. This is the main file. So let me close this, guys. Okay. So in the main project, yeah, here. So now we need to first use provider, right? Provider, sorry, AWS. I'll just copy this rather than creating a new one. Done. Change this. What is next? So we need to declare all the variables. So here I'm just using one variable. So which is a app name, right? So it automatically prints everything. So we don't need to do it in all. I'll just remove that variable app name. So this is my module. So you have to give your module name. So I'll give the HR here, open up my source. So where is my module file? So it is actually, I go back inside the modules directory. There is a directory called project. That is my module. Now I need to pass the variables. So this module expects these many variables like app name, VPC, CADR block, blah, blah, blah. So I don't need to pass value for these four because if I don't pass, the default will be considered. If I pass something, this will be overridden by the what I'm going to pass during the execution, right? So I'm not going to pass anything. I just use the defaults one. So this is mandatory because it doesn't have the default one. So I'm going to pass this one. So app name is equal to, so this is for HR, right? I'm going to give the HR. That's it. So here I'm hard coding HR here. So I don't even need to mention this variable. Clear? So in case if you want to variabilize this hard coded value, then you need to take a variable called app name same. You can take any name. So since you have used a variable here, so you need to declare it. So I'm going to declare this app name, right? So if you want to pass the default to here, you can also pass the default here as well. But it's highly recommended that you don't pass anything defaults. So you always use a variable files. So I'm going to pass app name value is equal to HR. That's it. Now let's go ahead and spin up our project. What happened? Why it is stuck? Let me open another one. Hi, my terminal is not working. Yeah. So this is my Terraform. I'm going to project main file. So this is the value. So I need to expose a variable. So let me just pass this recording. I just exported my AWS variables. So let me go ahead and run this Terraform init. Then it is done. Now let me go ahead and Terraform plan var file is equal to hr.tf So since it is just only one variable, so either you can pass it like this, or if you just want to override one variable, we can also do with single variable dash dash var app name is equal to hr. You can also pass like this if it is one variable. Okay. So let's see what does plan says. What happened? Looks like there is some, yeah, it is going to create 7 resources. There are some warnings because I have used this guy somewhere. In which file? Modules project main.tf line number 48. I'm not supposed to use this syntax. Okay, I go to the 48 line. So here I use, yes, yeah, but it did not complain for this. See, the reason behind this, I'm appending some more text here, right? This is the right way of using. If you don't have any appending, then you just use the quotations directly. Okay, so this looks good. So now let me apply directly. It is going to create 7 resources. So is it 7 resources actually? Let's check it. So resource 1, resource 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Perfect. Now let me apply this Terraform apply variable is equal to app name HR. Which is going to create it. Yes. See, isn't that easy? So if you want to create the same setup through the UI, it takes at least good amount of time for you, right? Maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes, right? So with Terraform, it is easy. So let's go ahead and verify our resources once. Come on. So go to VPC. You see, HR VPC got created here, right? And then go to the subnets. I have public subnet, private subnet created. Go to internet gateway. So internet gateway also created. Now let's check the route tables. See, HR route, HR private route. So this is the default one, which is yes. This is the not default one, and the private subnet is associated. This is what we have done with the VPC creation manually, but now we have done the same automated way using Terraform. Create. So now let me show you one more thing, guys. So now HR is done. So you wanted to create the same for the finance as well. Okay. So what, you come to the same place. Okay. You do here, rather than you just say finance now here. Okay. Finance, sorry. I think it's finance, right? Not finance. Some people say finance.
It depends.
No, usually you have this oval here, right? A. So when you have a oval here, then you need to call this as a letter, not with the phonic.
No,
So it
like
should be fi.
I have seen finance people telling it finance.
Yeah, no, that is actually finance. You see
Because
what's happening here? Yeah, 0 to add, 6 to change. You just wanted to create the new one, right? You wanted to create the new one for the finance, but it says 0 to add. It says 6 to change. But why this behavior? Because of this. So if you open this tf.state file, so this is the state. So whatever you have in this project, right? Where is your project main? So you created one structure already. So that capture the state in this terraform.tf.state file. So whenever next time you execute tf apply or tf plan, this will compare what you want it to be and then what you currently have in the cloud. So it compares, it identifies the differences, then will give you the list of what it is going to do. So we said that now the variable name is not HR, rather it's a finance. But it identified, okay, he said he wanted to be a finance, but in the target, it has currently has a HR. So what I need to do, I need to rename those. So it doesn't rename, rather what it does, it deletes and then creates a new one. So since it is a tags here, so tags can be replaced because if you look carefully, so only tags are getting changed. So this will be fine. But in case if something, the main value is getting changed, then it will delete and recreate the new one. So that is very destructive. So do not do that. So if you are trying to create same state for different application, then you need to create a new folder and then execute it there, or you need to change the tf state file output. Okay, so let's check terraform plan dash dash help. So do you have, you see, state file? So now let's give a different now. So terraform apply this finance. So I'm giving the state file. Look for a different one, or maybe no. I need to do the plan here, not the apply. Terraform plan dash dash var app name is equal to finance state is equal to, I need to give different name. So I can give finance dot tf state. Now let's see what happens. See, it created a new state now. See, it says 7 to add, 0 to change. So this assumed that this service never exists. That is the reason it verified the state in this file. Where is that? Where is the TF finance start this thing? Oh, it hasn't created. But if I apply, no, I think it's a out. I think Terraform plan dash dash help. Oh, this is the plan. Same. So let me use the out parameter here. Why? It is still using this thing. So state is equal to finance.tf.state. Oh, it is a name, same name. Okay. So remove minus, first remove this and then do this. I have just given a plan as a dot plan. See, I can just 7 to add because this will verify it with the new state file that we are going to use. So I can simply do the Terraform apply to this file. Terraform, oh, this is state out, not the state. So you don't need to do this plan as well here. So it will create the new tf.finance.tf state file. Again, 0 to change. It is considered in the existing one. Let me pass the plan as well. Plan is equal to finance.plan. Auto approve, backup, compact, log, input, no color, parallel, refresh, state. There is no plan option here. Uh, uh, variable directly. Yeah, so we can, I thought we can also pass the plan. There is no plan option available. But this should consider the state out as this thing. is using still HR. Yeah. So this is what I'm using the incorrect variable. So this is the state, not state out. So now this will use this state. So this state doesn't have exist anything. It doesn't have anything. It is going to assume that there is no finance app available. That's why it says 7 to add. Okay. So that's what we use this same directory for multiple application, but this is not a standard practice. You always have a different directories, or you use a different storage names. Like currently we are using the TF state locally, but in a company we use some backends. Backend means we are going to keep this store file securely in a S3 or in Azure Blob Storage, because it is securely saved, because this state file is very important. If any changes to this state file happen, it will assume that something is wrong. Then Terraform will try to delete and recreate those resources if it doesn't matches. Okay, so we can also check the backend store. Let me see if I can find some examples. AWS Terraform backend. So this is the backend. S3 is there. So if you want to keep your state file in the backend, this is the example. So we need to use Terraform backend, that is called the S3 bucket name. We need to provide the key and then region. So the key is actually the file name, I think. Okay. So we need to grant these permissions. So policy DynamoDB table. In case if you want to keep your state file inside a database, then we can also use this DB, but we don't need to put them in a DD. So this is a data source, configuration, credentials. So we need to have the same access key and secret access key. So let's check if I can able to create some thing. So do we have our S3 here? I don't know why it is so slow. So there is a bucket already. It is November 14, something is there. So I'm going to use this bucket and keep my file here. Perfect. So for that, I need to create the backend. So I need to go to my not modules, the mains files. Okay. I go here. So here I'm going to add my backend. So for the backend, the section is this. I copy this as it is. Come back here. So Terraform backend is S3 bucket name. So what is my bucket is, this is not my bucket. This is my bucket key. So where you want to keep the file. So I'm going to create a directory Terraform slash. So this is going to be my finance, right? So maybe HR, right? So, okay, let me first, before that, let me destroy it. Otherwise you get confused a little bit. So when I say Terraform plan, var file is equal to HR, it says no changes. Then I will destroy it. So no change detected. Let me destroy this. Terraform destroy var file is equal to HR. Seven to destroy. Come on. Yep, it's done. So now let me delete all the state files to be at safer side. Okay, so I don't have any state files. So they are all now new. See, they're all new, nothing. So let me also delete the .terraform as well, because we are changing the backend, it will complain. So let's assume that we are all new now, everything is new. So now I am going to enable the backend. This is the backend where I wanted to store. The file is this tf state. So region US East 1. Okay, this is what I'm adding. Now let me go ahead and do the Terraform init. Terraform init. She says initializing the backend. So now it is looking for a backend. The tf state file will store in this. See, Terraform will automatically use this backend unless the backend configuration changes. So let it download the plugins. So Terraform is smart here. So in case if the TF state file already exists and then you are trying to use the backend, then it detects the changes. It informs you, hey, you found a different backend. You want me to copy the TF state file to the newer one. If you say yes, it will copy automatically. Okay, so this is there. Now let's go ahead and do a Terraform plan var is equal to app name is equal to HR. Come on. See, 7 to add because we destroyed it, right? Now let's go ahead and apply this. Apply. I just say auto approve. Done. See, now if I go here, maybe I'll show it here. So there is no TF state file. The TF state file will be stored here now. So if I refresh this, see there's a Terraform directory and there is a hr.tf.state file. So this is how we actually store our state files in a safely, because these are important, right? That is the reason. Clear? So now this is how we use the modules and we use the backends and we store it. So that's what about. So if you really wanted to add the NAT gateway as well, you can add it. So if you want to do, I can do it right now. If you want to do yourself, it's up to you. Can you guys do that?
Yeah, we'll try.
Yeah. So first you see
Lokesh?
it's ask it's 1 minute. It's asking for a AWS EIP, right? So you need to take AWS EIP resource first, and then you have to use this. So here in the associate, after once your NAT gateway is created, it's done. We don't need to do any association again, I think. Yeah, but here, so in the association, I think yes. So you have to add this association. Yeah, you have this, right? This is the default route table, but you use a different route table, not default one, AWS route table, and then you add the, rather than gateway ID here, you add the NAT gateway ID. That's it. No more changes. So route table ID, probably this will change. This is not the default. You will have a route table ID. Yeah, sorry, I stopped you.
No, no problem. Actually, I have one doubt.
Mhm.
We are not spinning up any machine here.
No, we're not spinning up. So we can spinning up. It's not that big deal. So resource AWS instance, right? So main. So we know that AWS instance resources, right? So let's check it. Terraform AWS instance. So I just copy this as it is. Main. So AMI ID. So it's already there. Network type, network interface. So they are using network interfaces. So we don't need all those as well. So let me use our example. That is the best. Already we have covered this, right? So I have all this. I'm going to use this. Okay, it says count two, but I don't want it. I just only one. Again, I'm passing all this environment, all this, right? So I use so much here. Can I hard code all these values? Right? So AMI is var.environment. Okay, so let's, yeah. So I'm just take all the variables here. Already we have these variables here, right? Not this one, this is a project. And then project variables are here. So environment, key name, AMI, this. Okay. So this is the prod.tfr file. So AMI is there, instance type is there. I just need to pass environment, key name, AMI, and tags. So this is my project.main file. I need to mention the variables here. So environment, key name, AMI, I don't need to pass because this will be default ones. So tags, I just need to pass the tags. Perfect. So where is HR.tfr files? I'm going to pass the values, environment prod, key name Mac, tags wire file, application is demo. So we have this, perfect. So now let me go ahead and create this. Now if I go ahead and say Terraform plan dash var file is equal to HR, it detects the changes because now we have added the new resource, right? So it says no changes to 7 resources, but the new resource will be added. It says missing requirement argument. Yeah, because now we have used more variables, right? So now we are using more variables here, all these variables. So we need to pass the value for these. Perfect. So what I'm going to pass, I haven't defined these variables here, right? Environment is equal to var dot environment, and then key name is equal to var dot key name tags equal to var dot tags. So environment key name, these are variable tags. Yeah, only those. Perfect. I passed those values here as well. So we need to align in properly. Now let's check it. See, one to add. So what is that one is getting added? Our machine. Okay, so I can apply this. I just do auto approve so that I don't need to again forward the approvals. Don't do the auto approve, guys, in the production or anywhere unless you are quite sure about what you are doing. Because once you hit this, when you realize that you did mistake, even though you hit Control C, the API calls will already be gone to the AWS. So the very less chances that your Terraform will break. Again, it will leave your state file in a taint mode. Whichever resources are not properly spun up, it leave them in a taint mode. Again, you have to untain it or you have to destroy it. It is creating the instance now. Let's go ahead and verify that thing as well. So this state file will be updated. Oh, come on. Easy to. See, one instance is running. See, it's done. Okay, that's what your this thing is. So any doubts? So there are some other commands as well which you guys can practice. So like Terraform refresh, Terraform import. Terraform import is if you want to import the state file, already existing resources. So this you don't need to practice at the moment. But taint and untaint is if you think that that machine is problematic. So whenever someone apply Terraform apply, that will destroy the resource and create it. That is what we use for the taint and untaint. So validate, it will just validate whether you have all the structure properly or not. And then Terraform show is actually will give you the status, refreshes and give you the status of your resources. So this workspace management and all again different. It's a bit advanced concept, but you just practice all this first. Okay. So if you want to know more details about, so you can learn all the remaining commands. Okay. So that's what I would think about the Terraform. I don't think so. We need to discuss in depth again in this. So Terraform modules are done, and then what else we have? Oops, what is the examples I am? Yeah, we discussed this, right? It's just like creating user and adding user group and then attaching the policies. Yeah, so you can also check that one as well. It's not that big deal. So anything else? Any doubts on the Terraform?
Yeah, Lokesh,
Mm-hmm.
actually we are using the Terraforms and spinning up the EC2 by UI, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that is the easier than this, right? Why people is mostly companies are interested in the Terraforms.
No, UI takes time, right? Because there are a lot of chances that you do human mistake, right? Because now if you talk about these resources, right? So now we were able to create the resources in a sync. So if I open up my VPC,
Mhm.
I will have a proper naming convention. Like all my HR VPCs are there, finance VPCs are tagged each other properly. So come on.
But here also in coding and some issues also there, right?
No. See, HR VPC is there, and then subnet will also have a same naming convention, same pattern, everything. The thing is actually, so the Terraform why we use this is, so you don't need to, because now I create it manually. Okay, tomorrow I may not be the company, but how the second person is going to know that what are the setups were followed to set the environment? Again, he will have his own way of setting up. And also the why reason we write Terraform script is, it is whenever you want you can create, whenever you want destroy you can destroy. It is like an automation. You don't need to remember all those steps, because there are a lot of human error chances when you do it UI, because company will be dependent on that person, right? So if you use these automations, then no dependence on human, everything is code. So now almost most of the companies going towards infrastructure as a code, configuration as a code. They
Yeah,
don't expect people to remember the steps and do it manually through the UI. Everything is automation, everything is in code.
you're right.
That is what. So now I simple. So I don't need to delete each and every resource. I can simply say delete this guy. That's it. Where file is equal to HR. So if you want to say destroy and create every day, now how are you going to do? You are going to spend almost 1 hour time on this, right?
Yeah.
Because when we talk about the clouds, so the less, I mean, the whoever uses the resources efficiently, they will get less bill, because developer team wanted to develop some changes. So you don't need development team to do the changes in night, right? They always do during the workday. So in the morning, you can create a Jenkins job that will run this Terraform script, which creates the state, I mean, which creates a stack automatically. So in the evening again at 6 o'clock, you again run a Jenkins job that will destroy automatically. So you don't need to create manually. So DevOps itself is automation. So we don't do anything UI. So any more doubts? Yeah, so in case if you don't have the doubt, so what we can do, so we can finish the class today. So next week we will discuss on your further processings, like